Hey guys, it's Chedek, and in today's video, I'm sorry that it's not another amplifier. I'm sorry that it's not the updated retrieve the data for the jail build. Those are simple. The jail build is very flexible. You can do whatever you want with it. It's just that good of a build. And my amplifiers, they are still progressively getting better, and I feel like once they are at peak performance, I will share them with you. So far, I can only AFK endurance up to wave like 17, 19, and that's not good enough in my opinion. So let's talk about Sploders, like the title of the video. Why are they exploding? Because you might be thinking, oh, they're randomly exploding. Oh, I can't do anything about it. No, you can't. Your tunnels have some problems. Alright, so now before you start yelling at me in the comments for trying to bash on your tunnels, just hear me out, alright? So let's talk about the two main issues on why Sploders explode. One being pathing and the other being positioning. So pathing is a very large chunk of this video, so you might want to grab some popcorn or, you know, write down some notes. So let's start with accidentally creating extra easier pathways for the Sploders. So for this tunnel, there's 2 to 3 pathways, and they all converge into one pathway, right? There's no other way for them to go to get to the amplifier. However, you can accidentally create another pathway with ramp pieces, so keep that in mind. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to show you a run right now without any extra pathways on this, just as this tunnel, and I'm going to fast forward it 4 times speed. Alright, so instead of 400 times speed, I did 575 times speed, well, percentage. And what we're really looking for in this is for a Sploder to blow up. You know, this is my perfected tunnel after painstakingly working on it and forcing it to be perfect so I can solo and AFK. So I doubt a Sploder will be exploding in this tunnel. 1000% a Sploder won't be exploding, and the wave is already over. No exploders exploded. Alright, so that run went really smooth, right? So now let me accidentally break my tunnel with simple moves like this. So before I used to have this like this, I had instead of this little box, I had a ramp piece, right? And then 2 walls. So what happened here was, my plan was the wall launcher would use the ramp to push them down. And that was all good until I realized I accidentally created another path for the Huss. So what Huss would do would, let me just add actually these broadsides back, you know, just in case. What they would do is, they would destroy this wall and come up here and walk through. An extra path has been made for them, a much easier path than what I provided for them. And again, another problem I've done in the past was I've added a ramp here as well to protect my walls. What will happen here is, this doesn't add any extra path. I mean, of course, they can walk up here and through there, but like, it shouldn't do anything, right? So now that I've added these 2 layers of one to be like, you know, to actually ramp them down into that little hole, and another one to protect this wall from smashers, let's just watch it and see what happens. Alright, so the objective here is to make sure that the Huss don't attack the right side of my wall. So obviously I cannot stop them from fighting that wall, but the only thing I can do is hope that a Sploder doesn't aggro on that wall. Because if a Sploder aggroes on that wall, the whole tunnel is going to be destroyed. As you can see, something has aggroed on that wall if you look at the minimap, and it seems to be a blaster. So in my favor, a Sploder did not aggro that wall, so I can continue this run. However, if a Sploder did aggro that wall, you would see absolute devastation. So let's take a look inside the tunnel and see what happened. So as you can see, there are tons of propanes in the tunnel, and these walls are gone. So if the Sploders would have walked in there, and exploded that wall, I would have lost this whole tunnel. That's just because of aggro on walls and extra pathing. So make sure you block off any extra paths that you can. Don't add any extra staircases where you don't need them to protect the integrity of your tunnel. Now let's move on to the next thing Sploders can do. Alright, so the next part about pathing is clogging. Now clogging works in many ways. First off, if you have a team of Zeniths and you're all freezing Huss, you can clog the life out of your tunnel by just blocking the path with all those frozen Huskicles. Huskicles? That's what I'm gonna call them. Those frozen Huskicles. So, that's another problem. So if you have a team of 4 and they're all freezing at a part of your tunnel, and then Sploders need to get through and they can't get through because like there's just a large smasher or just many husks just frozen, pro players are just gonna be like, damn man, screw it, pick up their tanks and smash it into the floor. So that's a problem you should avoid doing. What I recommend to do when you're freezing husks and stuff is to have, if you're doing it, have floor launchers at the end of your tunnels and then freeze anything that gets through. If anything gets through and they're small, just know that your traps will probably run out, so you should only be expecting like smashers and blasters to come through. Those are the things that you should be really worrying about. Another thing is extensive tunneling. So, you know, a lot of people haven't been using these ramp pieces, but they would always use them in normal tunnels and regular missions. And here's why. So, if you have a lot of husks, like the incredible influx of husks that come in through the game, you do not want to funnel them really hard like this. The reason is because all of those husks have to go through here. And if this is like blocked off by a smasher, and he's just in this way at the moment, and then he gets flung and he just gets staggered here, a Sploders be like, damn, this path is blocked off, I don't like that, I want to walk through here. You know what he'll do? He'll blow this up. And if there's any propane around your tunnel, that'll blow up too. So make sure if you're going to be using these kinds of like wall pieces, you put them at the end of your tunnel. By the time anything gets through at the end of your tunnel and you really want to extensively, you know, funnel them, there won't be any small boys left to block up the area. There will just be like smashers and stuff, and that's good reason to stun them. Even then, I don't recommend it because, you know, there's the off chance that you can stagger a smasher and he'll land and hit the wall. So just don't use those in general. And the last thing I want to talk about with pathing is only having one tunnel with no splits. So husks work like this. It's what makes me enjoy this game so much. If they keep doing the same thing over and over again, eventually they're going to think to themselves, huh, this isn't working, and then they're going to try something new. They're going to program in their head and they're going to look for an easier pathway or a pathway they haven't tried before. And that's why you should have more than one tunnel. So all the husks will eventually walk through this way and they'll be like, damn, that doesn't work. So they'll try either walking through this way, going through here and going through this tunnel, which will also destroy them. Or if you haven't built any lobber some smasher protection or shield protection, they could potentially break this wall and walk up there. So I really recommend on this amplifier, it's called the southernmost amplifier, I think it's called Valley, that you put some smasher protection here or maybe some walls up here, because that's what I did. And those are the three most important things about pathing. I'll try to get some footage of the Sploders blowing up this area, so I'm just going to remove these ramps deliberately because it will happen. They will blow this up if there's nothing here. So and then we're gonna move on to positioning, the last important thing about this video. Alright, so it's wave 10 and Valley didn't get exploded on wave 9, which it does, so we're just gonna move on to the last thing, and that is positioning. Where you have your character matters so much in endurance mode. As you can see, I literally jumped down here, and for the first time ever in this video, my tunnels blew up. You guys don't know how happy I am to have my tunnels blow up, man. Oh my god. So yeah, positioning and that little protection right there. If you're standing around this area, your tunnels can blow up. So make sure wherever you're standing, stay close to the amplifier or very high in the sky, because on wave 9 they didn't blow it up. And one more thing that I want to cover. Damage pulse mini bosses. So I have not had them blow up my tunnels. I haven't had them blow up any of my tunnels ever, actually. So I don't really know if they can affect, you know, the runs. I haven't had it happen to me, but I've seen people talk about it. So I'm just not sure, you know. If you guys had damage pulse mini bosses take out your tunnels, please leave a comment in the down below so I could just, like, you know, alert people to that, because I just, without proper testing, it hasn't happened to me. So now let's go over real quick all of the things that can cause tunnels to explode. So again, let's start off with pathing. So there are many ways in pathing, such as accidentally creating extra easier pathways or not blocking off already set pathways. And then there's clogging, which is simply just aggressively freezing husks and not allowing them to move. Very tight choke points with high density husk counts. And last but not least, only one funnel when there should be multiple to decrease density in clogging. Then we have positioning. So you really need to be close to your amplifiers. So if you're close to your amplifiers, you'll pull the aggro towards the amplifiers, which is very good. And then one more thing. Do not clean amplifiers when the husk spawns are very close to that amplifier. Preferably, you want the husk spawns to be across the map. And yeah, time for the outro, I mean. Oh man, guys, you don't understand. I started making this video at 4 o'clock, and it's now 12:27. And for these past 8 hours, I could not get my tunnels to explode. That one time it exploded, it was insane for me, cause like, ew, I've had them explode so many times, but when I want them to explode, it doesn't happen. It's like RN Jesus Sploders. So yeah, all of these points I've extensively tested them out in multiplayer, in single player. They all have purpose and they all have meaning. I have already perfected my tunnels and I've already taken out all those kinks and bugs from my tunnels, but now you need to learn how to test out your tunnels. See, what you need to do is you need to run endurance alone and see what waves your tunnels blow up. If your tunnel blows up, there's obviously one of the problems I've listed before. And yeah, if you guys enjoyed the video, don't forget to like and maybe subscribe. And if you thoroughly enjoyed the video, please share this information with another player out there. Someone needs to know this, and someone's probably getting very upset with endurance. That's about it. My name's Chedek. I'll see you guys later. Woo-hoo.